Hello, this is Austin Feula presenting on task 2 of term project number 2. And first off, sorry if there's a lot of background white noise. I'm not entirely sure why my computer's doing that, and for the life of me, I can't figure out how to fix it, so I apologize for that. And anyway, hopefully this can flow as well as possible. I know it's a little awkward with someone remotely doing task 2 in between a live task 1 and task 3 presentation, but hopefully this can flow as seamlessly as it possibly can. All right, moving on. So quickly, here is an outline for task 2. First off, I just wanted to address that I think was probably covered in the task 1 presentation, that Wolfline and Transloc appear to be covering most bases with their current ITS system. I think they seem to be doing a great job. They are doing a lot more ITS work and have a lot more interesting and cool features than anything in the area I live in. So I think while there's potential new things they could do with their current system, I think they have most bases covered and they can't really add too much on. But anyway, moving on from that, here are the additional potential functions I think they could implement with their current system. Like I said, there's nothing groundbreaking here. I think they covered most bases, but here are a few additional things they could do. These are automatic voice annunciations, or AVA, live incident management, driver performance tracking, and finally they could probably expand on their transit fleet management system they currently have. So, automatic voice annunciation. First off, I've never been to North Carolina State and never been on Wolfline, so I don't think they have this now, but I actually don't know for a fact if they don't have this system. But it wasn't mentioned in any presentations. I couldn't find it anywhere, so hopefully they don't already have this in place. Well, anyway, so this system is based on GPS, and when a bus gets close to a station, it automatically announces a station it's arriving to via a voice and an LED sign. So this is great for the blind and the deaf, to help them out to be able to recognize when a stop is coming. And in general, I mean, another interesting element of this is that it will adjust according to the volume on the bus. So unlike an announcement you can sometimes never hear, or sometimes it's way too loud, this will adjust automatically to the volume on the bus. And like I said, this will use the existing Transloc tracking, so that will not need to be added on. This will need additional investment for the signs on the bus. I don't think those are currently there, the LED signs, and there'll probably be a few other things that need to be added on. And like I said, it's just a modest user benefit. This isn't a huge benefit, but it was something that can be added, which I think is a useful thing to add at some point if funds allow. Another thing they could implement is live incident management. Currently, according to the presentation in class, they just use handheld radios to communicate incidents. And while this seems to work for a small network like this probably could be improved. And so to improve this, they could upgrade to a monitor. So there could be a monitor up by the driver, which just has lines come up and show the incidents that are occurring. I think the major benefit of this is that it would track the incidents. These would actually be taken down on a computer somewhere, so they could track incidences and learn from where they are and when they occur, and try to think about routing based on some of these incidences. And additionally, you could have the computer set up so it did not provide drivers with unnecessary information. So if it was a mile away from your route and had no effect on your traffic, then you wouldn't hear it, versus everyone hears everything on the handheld radio. Another thing they could implement is more driver performance tracking. Currently, they track bus speeds for if the drivers are driving too fast, too slow, etc. And if they arrive on time, so if a driver potentially misses a stop or arrives really late, then they can find that out and take the necessary measures to deal with that driver and to figure out if it was his fault or what the reason was. I think additional tracking possibilities would be to use a GPS to track aggressive acceleration or braking, or evasive driving maneuvers, so going around a corner really quickly, or whatever a driver does. And I think one of the issues with this is this will need to add more technology, and they're probably is going to be significant opposition from bus drivers, thinking this is unfair to track everything they do. Finally, I think the last thing they could add on to is the transit fleet management system. I think they probably do a lot of this already, but I figured it was just worth emphasizing and going through the functional requirements again just to make sure they cover all their bases. Based on the presentation from the Wolfline representative, they definitely do track the mileage via GPS, but I was not entirely sure what else they did for fleet management. So below, I'm not going to go through it because it would take too long, but below is a list of all the functional requirements of a transit fleet management system. All right, so this was everything for my presentation, and hopefully this can somewhat seamlessly move on to the Task 3 presentation. And like always, just send me an email or post it up on the message board if you have any questions. All right, thank you.